and General Secretary of the Bermuda Olympic Association. We're here in Tokyo, Japan for the 2020/21 Olympic Games. You've arrived here. I guess the atmosphere is a little different, but just seeing some of the athletes, seeing some of the officials, a lot of smiles.
Yes.
You know, I've witnessed a lot of smiles as these athletes are returning back to norm. But for Bermuda's sake, Madam President, what do these particular games, these games that some say shouldn't go on, there was some doubt a year ago, pushed back, but we're here now. What do these games mean to Olympic associations around the world and Bermuda Olympic Association?
Hi, Earl. Well, Brown and I made it. Been a long journey. But you know, these games, you have to give the Japanese government and the organizing committee kudos for getting us where we are today. They are amazing people, extremely friendly. If you've had issues, they've been very accommodating to us. But for us to get here, even though we have Dara and we have Flora, just to be in the Olympics and having qualified to be here is kudos in itself. And I'm proud of our team that we have, and I'm sure they will give their very best when they go to compete.
Madam General Secretary, you've been on the job for a little while now, but what a lot of people don't understand is the work that goes on behind the scenes once our athletes qualify, getting them here. It's a lot of work on the chef as well as the General Secretary, because there's rules and guidelines and all that has to be administered. The first time around for you, what has that journey been like?
It's been fascinating. I think in addition to all the great work that Brenda's done and emails I get from her 1 o'clock in the morning, you know, going through the emails that we get every day from Tokyo 2020, it's a lot of administrative behind the scenes that, you know, I can't even get into because it's just so much. In addition to that, the staff in the office, you know, Carol and Ronnie and Paula, making sure hotel reservations are correct and people are not 100 kilometers away from where they need to be. True story. And for me, my first time around with this Olympics is understanding all the processes and all the applications and all the different programs that they have. And you know, being in Tokyo, you know, is highly technical. IT and you know, social media, everything is so technical. Even when you get in the car or vehicle, you know, you're showing your ID and there's an app for this, an app for that, and the vehicle, we were just in the vehicle, couldn't leave because the mapping wasn't working, or the driver couldn't get the mapping to work. So they're very high tech, and everything is an app. And so I feel that for me, it's been really exciting to be part of this. I will say that. You know, the country, Japan, Tokyo, people are very resilient. The fact that these Olympics are still going on. And I mean, coming in yesterday at the airport, you know, the folks are just so pleasant and welcoming and proud to be hosting this event. And any issue, they kept saying, is anything you need? I'm here. Yeah. Even Delta, I shouldn't promote Delta, but the people, you know, people that had nothing to do with Tokyo 2020 who are at the credential place where we were coming to help us, bringing us waters, anything we can do for you. Just very, very friendly. And so, to me, that shows just the pride, you know, and the joy to have all of us from around the world here. And so to be a part of that, you know, my career, it's just, for me, it's, you know, it's just awesome. It's just a really wonderful opportunity for athletes and for me to be part of this.
You know, Earl, if I could just add to that, for me, seeing so many old familiar faces from the NOCs, and it's been a pleasure in the short space of time introducing Bramwin as our Secretary General, so they get to know who she is going into the new quadrennial. And I think it's about what I like about the Olympic Games. We are a family of friends and comrades and stuff like that, so it's exciting to see so many old familiar faces.
Now, obviously, we won't get into the next game, which is in 3 years' time, because that's a lot of pressure for administrators and athletes and all.
Yeah.
But the challenges that we've faced globally over the last 2 years, this all started 2 years ago, you know, canceling the Olympics. how challenging has it been for the Bermuda Olympic Association to keep the NOCs in Bermuda up to date with what's going on? There's been so many changes to how things can actually materialize, but how much of a challenge has it been for the BOA?
Well, you know, Earl, I think we're very blessed to have the staff that we have, who are resilient themselves. They never never concerned about the information they send out. As soon as something comes in, it goes straight out to our NSGBs to ensure that those who have qualified or those trying to qualify have the latest information. Yeah, it's challenging, and if I had to be honest with you, from where I sit, 2024 is knocking on the door. I'm not sure how much further better we will be. I hope pandemic will be over, but this has given us an insight that when there is a crisis, we can come together and work together to make sure everybody's up to speed all the time. And just in the short time that Bronwyn and I have been here, information has changed once again.
Yes.
And I can tell you, I'm not very techie orientated, so I'm very blessed to have Bronwyn by my side. But they are very app orientated, and I think that is the way of the future, to be quite honest with you, to be paperless. So that will be an education process that needs to be dealt with going forward in the next 3 years as well.
These major events or major games are an opportunity for the organization committee as well as the IOC to have talks with their NOCs to discuss what's next, how we move forward next. Is that mainly the reason why the presidents and general secretaries come to these events to meet with the stakeholders to get the latest up-to-date information?
Yeah, I think apart from supporting your team is that you want to talk to the international federations to let them know what works or what doesn't work, and what is their criteria for how they run, who should go to these games. The bar goes up every 4 years, and our journey to our success is that we laid out right from last quadrennial what our expectations were going forward. So, and we've stayed on top of that and stayed true to what we wanted. And yes, we only have 2 athletes, but they qualified to get here, and I'm proud as punch of both of them. And to be honest with you, it's a new generation of young athletes now coming forward. We've got, as you know, the junior Pan Am Games, and I think that will give us an indication what 2024 is going to look like. So if they're true to their journey, they will be at the next Olympic Games.
Now, we all know there's some pressure on our triathlete.
Yes, there is.
The added pressure of being one of the favorites.
Yeah.
Obviously, we all would feel it because we want the best for our athlete at the time of the games. We want our athlete to perform well. How do you think Flora to date has been coping with the mental challenge of being an Olympic favorite in an Olympic year?
I will comment
Yes,
on that. I
yeah.
mean, I don't have a personal relationship with Flora, but I know her history, and I follow her on Instagram. Flora knows what she needs to do.
Yeah.
You know, I think, and she's an experienced professional athlete. She's been allowing herself to internalize about her preparation. What we think, feel, or see really has nothing to do with it. I mean, we have hopes, of course, right? But I think to put those hopes on her is really unfair to a certain extent. And I think, you know, being an elite athlete as she is, she's performed wonderfully, you know, over the years, and she's proven herself, and she's done so well, and she's dedicated her life to being a professional triathlete. And she's really, I think, a wonderful example for up-and-coming athletes,
Yeah.
no matter what sport it is.
Yeah.
And so I think we, as Bermudians from a small country, need to support her and make sure that she feels our love and that we're to support her. She totally gets what she needs to do. And, you know, having been very close to athletes like that and been a coach myself, it's very, of course, it's psychological. You know, you prepare yourself physically. And she understands what she needs to do to, you know, to surround herself in the environment and the preparations that she needs to do over the years, over the days, over the weeks, over the hours before her race. And so I think, you know, it's for me, to be here and to be part of this and be a privilege to see her compete. I'm just excited for that. and you let the chips fall as they may. And I think sometimes we put pressure on athletes.
Yep.
I happen to think that if you're prepared and you do well, things will work out for the best. And so I think that will be my perspective of your question, Earl. And I'm excited for her, and I'm sure she's very excited. And I can't wait to see her on that starting line at whatever hour it's going to be, right? Because she's, we should celebrate all her successes. And yes, it is the Olympics, and that lots of us people will think it's a lot at stake. But I'm confident that she's prepared for that. Like I said, I'm not with her day to day. We don't know that, and I think Dan has prepared her well, and she's going to go there and give it her very, very best and more, because she's tough and she's resilient. So, I think we need to focus on that and celebrate Flora, no matter how it ends up, and let's hope it ends up good. But no matter how it ends up, so I feel that she's really showed her commitment to Bermuda and the pride that she has in the work that she's done, and the behind the scenes training that she's done. She's been in Colorado. It's a huge sacrifice and dedication, and so I would like just publicly thank her for all her hard work that she's done, and we get to see and witness that, right? And so
she's had a wonderful career.
And so yes, so I feel we should be celebrating that and let the chips fall as they may. And she's a tough cookie. We know that, right? And just think about when she competed in Bermuda the last time, and she's in that frame of mind. I think she'll be ready.
Anything's possible.
Yeah, she'll be ready.
Yeah.
And what about this new kid on the block?
Dara, I'm so excited for him. He goes down to Brazil, is it, to qualify, just hoping to do his best, and now he's here. And he's so excited. I know you've had an opportunity to talk to him. I think his whole mentality is on a whole different, he's going, I'm at the Olympic Games, what am I doing here, sort of thing. Very proud of him, and he will do us well. I have no fears about him giving 110%.
Now, tomorrow night we will witness the opening ceremony. Judy, for you, this will be your fourth one?
Yep.
And Brendan, for you, this will be your first?
As Secretary.
As Secretary General. Watching the flag being brought into the stadium, representing a nation of some 65,000 people, what does that mean to you, Madam President?
I'm going to be honest with you, I'm an emotional person at the best of times, but when you see your flag, there's no greater feeling. I'm proud to be a Bermudian, and I'm proud of our athletes, and even those who didn't make it, they gave it their best, and they always wore the flag well on their kit, and I'm just so proud to be a Bermudian, and I do and I'll be teary-eyed, I won't deny it. It's a shame that it's a whole different atmosphere this time, but it's the opening of the greatest event in 4 years.